Okay. Ali B's baking cookies. I hope she has some for me. Okie dokie. Let's do this another Terran versus Zerg here at the sc2c.com Gold, Platinum and Diamond Open, number 60. For all your C StarCraft needs, always head over to sc2c.com. And we've got our combatants here on Antigua Shipyard. In the green, across to the left-hand side, as our Terran, is sRpja. Pja? I don't know. Pja? Does that work, or does that sound really weird? I don't know. Vote now if that sounds weird. Also vote on who's going to win. Good point there by Pawny Boy. Who's going to win? If you think that our green Terran over here is going to win, type in 1. Or if you think our Zerg player across in the pink at the right hand side, InFinitY, is going to win, type in 2. And if you think that my glasses will win, type in 3. Make sure you follow Liquid Red on Twitter as well. But yeah, Antigua, good map for. It's sort of, I think it's much better for both these races than it can be at the start for Protoss. For a Terran, depending on how you want to play, you can do a lot of drops. Of course, drops are very common on this map. You can head in from, again, like this sort of southern side here. You can head in behind the cover of the smoke vents across on this side of the base, or you can even head just straight across into the natural drop down here, or at the back, and do some damage there. So it's you see a lot of drops on this map. For Zerg players, of course, you can also, if you get the creep spread out nice and quickly, if you get it past this point, you can put some creep, what was I going to say, spine crawlers here in this sort of position, and then effectively have your third quite easily protected, because you can move up there with the creep with, you know, your Lings and Banes, or if you want to go for some Roaches, you can do some Roaches perhaps. Yeah, one thing I presume we won't see is Mutas. Mutas, I don't think are the greatest thing on this map. What you want to look for mutas, I personally think, I'm not a Zerg player, but it's just sort of my opinion, is you want to look for a map where the bases are very close together and the mineral patches are sort of aligned with each other. Like on a map like Cloud Kingdom, the third base is effectively here, like sort of in this spot, so the mineral line is like right here. And what you can do then with mutas is bounce between the main and the third and just get some really easy kills. So that's why generally I don't think we'll see any sort of muta play here on this map. But maybe just some will come out just to protect from drops or that kind of thing. But looks as if InFinitY does get inside. Does he keep the drone alive? That is a big question here. The drone has a sleep, gets knocked out by that SCV. That was a knockout punch. And it looks as if we're going to have a couple more extra barracks going down. PJA... Not what? Oh, okay, that's that SCV there, just building it. Right, that just kind of freaked me out for a minute. But Natural Expand is now done for InFinitY. He's going to get some of his. He's going to grab his gas right now. So we'll have to see how he defends against what may be a little bit of a push at the start. We'll find out if PJA is going to go for that, but he does have his command center here at the natural as well. Going to switch that into the orbital and try and get his economy kick-started with that. So InFinitY does see that there are some Marines that are heading across the map. We got 3 of them, just trying to get some map presence there with those early 3 Marines, and then he's just probably going to sit. I don't think he's going to attack with that. It's only like a few Marines. There are times when you can look at oh, okay, so we got some 2s, some 3s, some 4s, and some 5s. Not bad, you guys. That's pretty good. If only it was a chat with like 1,000 people in it, it'd be really good if if you could count like that. Without people being retarded and interrupting. Anyway, these sorts of little pushes with Marines, something that have sort of seen a little bit of popularity lately is that you can come across with 4 Marines and sort of threaten with them, and it just forces Zerg to pick up some of these extra Lings. And now, as we can see, he's got a total of 7 Lings out here. I don't know where the 8th is, or if he did it die already. I don't actually know. But oh wow, InFinitY just going to react straight away. Just decides to bring all the drones out. It's like, oh shit, there's 3 Marines and game's over, man. But looks like, yeah, PJA, as we said, just threatening there. He's didn't actually force any more lings, unfortunately for him, but the drone count was... the drones were sort of pulled off the mineral line for a moment there, which is a little bit worrying, but now just going to boost that drone count up again. He's up to 39, with a few more drones about to pop out. More Marines are just on the way here for PJA, so he's going to try and take care of some of these lings across to the side with some good micro. He may be able to get some of these down before... one Marine, last man standing, but the lings went out in that battle. 3 more lings are left over, but as we can see, it looks like PJA is going to buck the trend of what everyone else has been doing, and he's not going to go for mech. He's going to go for a bio style. He's got 2 reactors on these racks at the front, plus 1 to weapons is on the way. He's also getting his 3rd gas down at the natural. Meanwhile, for InFinitY, getting a Baneling Nest, Evo Chamber, good scan here, money scan from PJA, finds out exactly what's going on, can see that the spawning pool is dancing, so the ling speed is almost near completion, he can be sure. It's normally, you got to be worried about the speed being completed in this sort of matchup around about sort of the 6:30 to 7:30 mark, sort of depends on how really desperate your opponent was for speed, but as we can see, he's also going to get a lair going. The Baneling Nest is now done, and a lot of lings are just starting to pop out here for InFinitY. Just making sure that he's very much protected, because I think he knows that there could be something a little bit fishy going on. So there's just a lot of Marines coming out. I think PJA is going to do his best Marine King impression here. We got a 3rd command center on the way. There is also a factory in construction. The lings did see that the Marine batch is on the way. Combat shields is done. Plus 1 weapons is also done. And Stim is on the way, so I don't know if he's going to commit to this. I don't think he should, because if he tries to, he's just going to lose these Marines for nothing, because there are a lot of lings and a lot of banelings here as well, and with no Stim, he's not going to really get any sort of damage done. And the Marines, however, are going to sneak up into the 3rd base. They're going to find that hatchery here. Are they going to be able to stop it? I think they will, if they can just sort of maneuver into position here. He's trying to get between the mineral lines, but he's not able to, and now not even able to focus down on the hatchery. The banelings come in, and the lings even clean up everything that was left over there. So perhaps a little bit of a wasted force there from PJA, but he did get some information, saw that the banelings were up, obviously, saw that there were a lot of those available, and that his opponent also almost has a 3rd base in operations. So PJA is now going to have to possibly defend against the banelings that are coming in. We don't have sort of a committal to this attack at all, so PJA shouldn't have to worry too much about making sure this is all fortified, but I don't know, the banelings might try and come through. We'll have to see in just a second. He's not actually making anything back at home. He used a little bit, no, he wasn't supply blocked, I'm not sure why. InFinitY isn't actually making anything, but he's going to head back. We got this 3rd orbital command done, a couple of medevacs on the way. Factory going to head out there and scout as well. So things sort of will probably stabilize a little bit for now. PJ will probably be a little bit more defensive in what he's doing, but the Spire is up, building some units, just making me look like a complete moron, but we'll see how effective they are. Of course, you know, depending on what happens, he might be effective with those mutas. And now, as we can see, InFinitY is just going to hang out in the middle. I thought he was going to get... no, he's not going to. He's not getting... I thought he was going to get Burrow, and perhaps try and set up some Baneling landmines, which would be quite awesome. But now we can see the Ling just trying to head into the 3rd there. Scouts at the orbital command just about to drop down. Some Marines clearing out that base. And now we'll see that PJA should be able to secure this for the moment. But we do have a bit of a problem, because the mutas are now coming across. There are no turrets up at all. This is a little bit of an interesting position here for PJA, because without those turrets available, he's going to be in quite a spot to defend against these mutas, and the mutas are now going to sweep across into the main base. They're just going to stop here and say hello, boys, and drop down those Glaveworm pain sticks all over those SCVs. Takes down 6 of them, not a huge amount, but does get rid of some of them, forces a cancel on a couple of extra racks that were in construction, and looks as if he should be able to get out with those mutas quite easily. Just sort of scouts what's going on, and wow, PJ is going to pick up a few more racks here. He's got 4 on the way, and InFinitY is going wild with his expansions, heading down towards this this, I don't know, we'll call that a fourth, but it's not in sort of the normal position for a fourth. He's also got this other one up at the other main here as well, and now it looks like PGA is going to go out for an attack. It's just before his +2 weapons is going to complete, so perhaps he should just hold up for a moment here at the Zelnaga Watchtower, but he does have his third base secure. Where are the meters still actually floating out? I think he's just making sure that he's prepared against any sort of drops here with those meters, but we'll find out in a moment. A couple of missile turrets going up at the third, just making sure that's protected, and we are getting a couple inside the main as well, along with those extra Marines that are just sort of sitting here waiting to defend against the possible Muta threat. Now, as we can see, PJ hitting across with a drop up to the third base. He's just going to drop it right on the mineral line, I think, and he's perhaps going to get a few kills here, but he's going to be in trouble because we got a beautiful encircling, beautiful surround there from InFinitY with the Lings and the Banes going to drop through and just destroy quite a lot of that. But meanwhile, the drop at his third does get inside. It's not going to kill the hat-trick. The Lings will deal with that, and then the Mutas take down the medevac as well. And it looks like PGA is going to have to just sort of sit back for a moment here, because now with this Zerg on all these bases, but he does find one of them, and he is going to get rid of this base here, which is quite nice. Pick up those Marines, don't let them take any damage, and there he goes. Nicely done by PGA. Now the Lings are going to have to head back inside. We can see them just trying to get back in. The Marines dropping down, perhaps not the best idea, but the Mutas now come along. They're going to finish up this attack, and that is going to be that. The medevac goes down, and it looks like PGA is just trying to really establish him. He's really setting up for this next sort of part of his push here. He's getting +1 on his vehicle weapons. Where is the factory, though? Doesn't actually have a factory to use vehicle weapons. I'm not sure what that's all about. And he has no tanks, but what he does have is a lot of Marines with +2 on their weapons and on their armor as well. Now these guys, of course, will do a great deal of damage to any of those Mutas if they fly nearby, and he's actually going to catch some of these drones that were on the transfer, and he is going to head across now that he knows that base is there. He should be able to take that out quite easily. There is only one Queen there to defend, and now we'll see if InFinitY is going to just roll through the rest of this. As we can see, all of his Vanes and Lings are now ready to rumble, and there he goes. He's actually, wow, this doing a little bit of a split here from PGA, but unfortunately there is just so much Zerg to deal with. He does take down the hatchery, which is quite nice, removes that third base, but now a lot of these medevacs are going to be in trouble here if the Mutas can catch the rest of them, but the Mutas have decided it's time to just go for the attack, and I think InFinitY just wants to try and end this straight away. He's lost some of these bases here, as we can see. There was the hive tech is now done, so I don't know if he's just sort of decided he just wants to finish it off, but he is going to try and head in and do just that. Marauder taking some of the shots off those Banelings here. The Lings now sitting at the front, perhaps not the best idea for them, but they're going to try and do all the damage to the supply depot here. They're going to bust it down. The Banelings are going to spill through the base, and they're just going to not the greatest of targeting here from InFinitY, but he is going to be able to sweep through the rest, trying to split up some of those Marines and the Marauders. Meanwhile, at the natural expand of InFinitY, he does have a drop in his midst. The Lings trying to take care of this attack. There are so many Marines here with 2-2, and PJA takes down InFinitY in what, I don't know, that was a very odd game that was sort of a little bit all over the place, but in PGA with that beautiful sort of timing with those Marines and the Marauders was able to kill off a couple of the satellite bases across to the side, and then was able to, despite losing quite a lot of his Marines and Marauders in that attack on the third, was able to take it down, and he was able to pull it out. So not too bad at all there from PGA.